Many people today are playing in the shadows on an individual's life that is not their right to be a part of. What we're going to talk about right now is educating children, teenagers, college students, and any other crass ass individual in America what sexual assault is and isn't within the house of the Lord. Within the house of the Lord, there are several things that contribute to sexual assaults of human beings. Angels do not sexually assault anyone. So don't fucking say that God told you to do this because it's illegal and it's immoral. What you have to decide is whether you're an illegal person or a moral person. Those are the two major questions about human integrity and human propriety. What I'm going to tell you is that there are some people that like touch, need touch, crave touch, have to have touch because their own family and friends network is improper for them. At the same time, if it's a woman that is assessing her life, she is checking men for whether or not they're accessible or whether or not she's safe. We don't mind that access to touch. We also have people that are very needy of human emotions, and those people touch people inappropriately. There's also a touch that's condescension that men like to use, the double-handed handshake. That's condescension, and every man who's been raised in a proper household knows it. But watch this. Some shitbag will try to come up and shake my hand and try to then grab my other hand with his, and that's his illegal behavior before the Lord. At no time did God place you in charge of any other human being's life. You're barely in charge of your own life when you do that shit. You prove you're an immoral, immature bastard of Satan, and that's God's words, not mine. I didn't come up with those words ever in my lifetime. It's not something my late father taught me in church class or Sunday school class or any other metaphysical class that I've ever taken for my own development of my own spirituality, my own religious practices, my own ethics in this world. Confucius doesn't talk about that too much. Now, let's get into it. Under the house of God, if you're a priest, if you're a minister, you should know these things. And if you don't, that means you're not praying enough, you're not meditating enough, you're not listening enough to God. Improper touch is the first rung of sexual assault. Improper touch says you are acting in a behavior that is not allowing me to access your heart, mind, and soul. So I'm going to touch on you to get your attention, and I'm going to touch your shoulder, I'm going to touch your back, I'm going to touch something on you to get your physical attention. That is improper touch. Teachers in Japan have a different way of doing this, so I can't handle those cultural differences in this conversation. We are talking about the women in particular that walk up to a total stranger, a man, and try to touch them. That's not okay. It's not the same as a woman putting her arms out asking for a hug and you saying okay. It's also not the same thing for a woman who dresses provocatively in front of a man in a sundress and takes her children with her to go out for ice cream with a man that's not her husband. That is not covered in this talk. That is a woman checking to see if she's beautiful enough for a new liaison because her husband has failed her life today.